Hello, hello, everyone. Can you hear me okay? Is the mic all right?
We good to go?
Yeah, we're good. So go ahead.
Okay, guys. All right, guys. It's just a small little group here today, but hopefully some more will join us. We're a little behind schedule today, and we're trying to tighten it up a little bit here. But 11:30 is kind of the range we'll typically start in. All right, guys. So as usual, here I just kind of review. It looks like it'll be mostly members here to start out. It's always the idea here. You'll get some good ideas, I think, and maybe a few nuggets along the way. Things will occur to me. There's nothing pre-scripted, nothing we work out in advance. The only chart I've seen is the first one. I thought how we do it every day because I want it to be, I want it to be spontaneous. So I almost prefer something that I struggle with. So as opposed to something that's easy. So you can kind of get a sense of that thought process that you work through implementing this methodology here. But as I mentioned many times, a lot of good ideas come out of this. We can't track everything. So to have, hundreds of other eyeballs that are looking at the market through this same technical lens, sorting out and looking for setups, there's often you'll find a little nugget in here that it might be something you want to pursue or at least watch. So let me go ahead and get started here. I'm assuming it's mostly members here, but you guys know if you're interested in any of the services that we offer, any of the products that we represent or either having a relationship with or would recommend to you, all of that's in that link tree, which a new format here. I mean, I guess that's, I don't know how old that is, but it's kind of nice. You get one little spot where all of your links to things come from. So that might be something to check out if you're interested and you're watching here and want to develop your own TA skills here. So let's just go ahead and get started here. So this is, it's been with us for a while. This is Delta Mike Romeo is his handle. And now looking at Eli Lilly on the monthly, right? So we don't often look at monthly charts, but this often, it's worthwhile to do. I mean, I rarely do it, to be honest. I typically, if I'm looking at an asset, an equity, I'll start with the daily. There would have to be some reason that I would want to push out to the monthly and that I couldn't get the full context. And this might be a good example here because we're going back to 1971. But look at the Elliott count right now. So he's struggling a little bit here. He's got 2 counts on this. I think there might be, this could be counted a little bit differently. So he has some comments here. So Delta Mike Romeo is concerned about the idea that if we count this as the 1, 2, then we'd have a problem here with the 3 being the shortest if we go all the way up here to these upper targets here. So I think maybe there's some alternates here in terms of how to count this here. So I brought it up here. I didn't quite see the same issue. I worked through some of the subdivision here. Oh, you've got quite an extension here in the 3rd here, but this still does look like you'd work it. I mean, you got a rip, but talk about an extension here in the 3rd. You see it. It's medically unusual, but look at the 5 and the 1 and then the monster 3 in the middle. So I like it all the more because of the approximate parity between 5 and 1. So all of that's a monster. That's wealth creation right there. Okay. So, but we look at this. So I think we can, obviously we get a new low here. So this just becomes insignificant to us. Here's our lowest low. Well, okay. I can work through a little diag to get that started with a 1, A, B, C into a 2. Essentially we get a triple bottom down there. Not too hard to spot. All right. So you look at it this way, say, okay, well, this is what a nice base. Now, remember, these are monthly bars. Now, of course, right? Oh, God. I mean, my guess is the majority of people watching this weren't even born in 1981. I was going to reveal my age here, but I was 20 years old here. So I wasn't trading this, but
I wasn't born.
Yeah, I was going to say most of you aren't even born. So, but if you look at that, I mean, that took Now, that's a couple of years of building a base. So talk about nice base, right, to launch from. 1, 2. Okay, so I got a nice clean impulse here, right? So this isn't difficult, right? Okay, so I got an ABC into a 4, 1, 2. So the big extension here. So I think Delta Mike Romeo, maybe just working through those subdivisions here would clarify a little bit here. So here's, oh, God, you really scrunched this up. So I like the 1, 2. So I'd put the 2 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I just can't quite figure out why you're so off there. Now we do end up with a shallow 2 here, right? So we're in between. That's kind of interesting. All right, so it's not a straight algo play. And I was looking for, is there something here that this is somewhat interesting here, that from this last pivot before we go into this extension into the fifth here, we come just shy of golden zone here. Makes you think, well, possibly, right? Remember, as I will always remind you, this algo does not care at all about the Elliott count, right? That's us trying to interpret. Really what we're trying to do is recognize that this is what drives the market. Now, can we build an Elliott count in around that price action? That's essentially what we're doing. You can take all the labels off. You can take all the numbers off. You can take everything off and just swing low, swing high, right? Where's the algo? What did it do last? Right? So this guy got paid. It's not quite a golden corner. Pretty close. Not quite. And we're not to the median line yet. So it's not too hard to kind of frame this out. Well, you don't, once again, right? Again, on a monthly here, these are bigger swings than that appears to your eye, and I'm in log scale. So where's your 2? It's kind of tough, right? This looks like the deepest retracement. So at first glance, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it looks like you'd have to do it this way. 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks like that's an extension there. So we're still seeking that 3, 4, and that 5. Oh shit! Hang on. Ninja alerts firing. Oh, never fails. I forget to turn that off. Okay, so looks like, boy, talking about a raging bull. In Lily, it looks like that's all you've got at this point, out at this degree. Now we'll go out at the lower degrees. We might see something a little bit better. So right off the bat, that makes me want to go, okay, let me go to the weekly and see how that looks. For a 2, and damn, sure does look like it. Looks like it's another WXY. So, but this would have to be the. You see, just as you're eyeballing it here, you're looking for the little where are the deepest retracements? This just to help you frame the wave structure, right? So here, that's what you're looking for. So start here and then work backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4. Boy, that's getting kind of tricky in there as well. All right, so 1, 2. Right now, is that 3? Looks like it would have to be. So we're going into some sort of all this overlap here. It could be 1, 2, 3, 4. Working on it. Whew, so that could be 1, 2. Looks like you'd have to do it that way. So this is still going. Let's take this up a degree. That's a tricky one because you don't have any retracement here. So this would looks like that's the 3, 4 of right before we go into 5 of the 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Now it's getting a little wonky here. See, I would leave this kind of uncounted until I need something deeper here because you can't. I'd prefer not to go 1, 2, 1, 2. Looks like that's an impulse there, but you might have to. And it could be a diag, but you need something deeper. Oh, just out of curiosity here. All right, you're forced to trade this. Well, it looks like this is technical. In the pocket. So we get a good third here. We know that's just a shorthand way to look for, is it far enough? Did we get the 1, 6, 1, 8? It looks like that's your 4, but this is where we're getting, well, you'd almost prefer to have stopped it there. Oh man. Yeah. Okay. So you can do it. So do you see what I can do here? I can do a leading diag. right? So 5 shorter than 3, or pardon me, 1 being the longest, and then 3, and then 5. So it didn't show up on the monthly. Yeah, I'll put it here, and then you got to measure it. So we get a leading diag, so that works. And it looks like that's equally technical. All right, so right to the 50. So right off the bat, can I get... You have to do 1, 2. So it looks like it still wants to go here. I don't think we're done here. That's kind of what I'd be looking at here in terms of any trades here. Oh, so shit, here, this has to go up. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4. We're working on the 5th to get up to that 5 is still up here somewhere. Oh shit, here this is why you got to change colors. 1, 2, 3, 4, extension in the 5. I don't see another way to do it unless you 1, 2. No, you're stuck with it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So we're getting the extension in the 5 right now. That's what it looks like based on, we got to account for these. So it looks like that's still going, looking for this 5 to get. So that would be, or am I going? So this would have to go up 1. Let's go to minuet. Let's put that in blue here. 1, 2. Man, we're in a rip. Well, we've seen it do it before. This is a big extension in the 3rd. So we're still seeking that 3. That's a biggie. So let's see where that would take us. That's the 1. That's the 2. Now I am in log scale. That could work. Get up here for that. All right. So when you pull that back out, then it starts to look more reasonable, because what's the one thing we're anticipating here coming off of this corner, right? That we're going to get there. I mean, it seems like it's too far away, right? I wish I had it up here, but the NASDAQ on the 15-minute, it looked like, oh my God, there's no way it's going to get there. It hit it yesterday after all that volatility. So I would not bet against this getting to that median line. Would not, right? Why would you say, okay, I'm going to place my money on the 20% failure rate rather than the 80% hit it rate? Seems like a poor choice of how to play the odds. So it looks like we're extending here in this 3rd off of this 1, 2, where we had this big extension. Looks like we're doing something similar here, but real is that, I mean, that target up here is, when we're sitting here at 214 or 241, up here at 1100, your brain goes, oh, no way, right? It's not going to do that. I'm going to buy the fuck out of it. Right? You choose how you want to play those odds, but I would not bet against that happening. Right? So I'd be in a long only mode looking at Lily. All right, so Delta Mike Romeo. I didn't quite follow this exactly, but hopefully having worked through it like this would help you just a little bit. And I think if you do similar to what I did, which is, okay, start on the monthly. Okay, get a basic framework of it, right? So as you did here, I'm not suggesting you didn't do good work here. It's just I think if you work through all the subdivision here, it's going to force you into some alternates. So you had this as the 1, 2. I think we're in alignment on the 1, 2, but I think we got a little off here on the early part of it here. So again, this now coming down to the weekly, I'd be long only there. I think that probably covers that. But nice, right? And I appreciate you, Delta Mike Romeo, for taking us out to a monthly, which we don't do often, right? And should. And talk about clarifying a longer term count. It's a good way to do it. All right, next I got Trotter, Trotter gave us quite a few.
So we got 2 donations. One is just a question.
Sure.
We'll hit that first, but go ahead and pull up, I guess, your YouTube and read that from Seth.
Oh, Seth. Seth, 1999. Well, everybody loves a bargain. Seth, all right. How many trades Analyze the success or failure of a trading strategy. Well, okay, so for a skilled trader, anywhere from 15 to 30% return is have for yourself. Now that's high. Now that's, again, I'm emphasizing on someone with experience. Most money managers would, if they can do 30% a year, they'd give up their firstborn to do that. I mean, those are phenomenal results. Now, of course, we see, people will do 100. Kind of crypto has blown the lid off of what's typical returns. But in terms of, it wouldn't be so much a number. I don't track it that way. How many trades to aggregate for? Oh, did I not? Well, it's not quite that black and white. I understand what you're trying to get to, Seth. So it would be a function of, before you would abandon a strategy. So let's say, for example, focusing on golden corners, like, for example, all right? So success or failure, well, we know that many of these are going to break, right? It's just the reality of trading, or the sell side will take it over and they'll break it on the other side. Failure is ultimately almost always going to be the result of your money management. So unless you're talking about an automated system where you can continue to refine those parameters, and you got to be careful with optimization. So it's like, because optimization is optimizing right up to this moment in time. It has nothing to do with what comes next, right? So that's an easy. People have been falling for that in the markets for many, many years. Just optimize it and then you'll make money. That's not what I would suggest doing. So let me phrase it this way. What we teach here, which is to identify what this algorithm, so it always starts, what did the algorithm do last? Okay. What did it do last? Now, is there geometry I can add to that? So here being just a perfect example. Now, is there an Elliott count that fits, right? And I'd be the first to tell you the Elliott count is not always there. Or if you might not be able to find it, depending on the time frame you're looking at. Perhaps it's happening on a higher time frame, or it's incomplete, or you can't decipher it. So you don't necessarily come to every chart assuming to find an Elliott count. Now, a skilled Elliottician is out, but it may be you get to a section like something like this where you can't quite decipher. I think we ran into this yesterday. There was something where we were looking at where I was like, boy, I don't have it. I can't see it. It's not far enough to where I can conclude where I am. So I just don't trade it until it gets further along. But the success or failure of a strategy would be, how would you define that, right? So are you making money or losing money, right? So just bottom line, are you net profitable or not? Well, you can be net profitable flipping a coin with good money management. I kid you not. I'm not saying that to be flippant at all. Heads I buy, tails documented. You probably Google it and find it. That if you do that with good money management, you'll make money over time, and you'll outperform most of the indexes or the funds that track the indexes. It's all, success or failure in the market is always comes back to money management. How much are you making when you're right? How much are you losing when you're wrong? If you can't get that to balance out right, I mean, 3 out of 10, that's not a bad ratio. For assuming you're making more when you'd have to make at least 3 to 1 that you're making when you're right compared to when you're wrong. There is no black and white answer that I can give you there. But if you were taking our approach here and trying to follow what we teach, if you're not making money with it, it's almost always a function of too much risk. Your stops are too big, or you're reluctant, or you're waiting too long to take the trade, right? So, or you're entering where you're it's finally safe up here. Okay, well, where's the potential resistance? Where's the volume trading? And okay, I'm going to buy it now and I'm put a stop under here. So you're going to lose that much on the trade. Well, that's just way too much risk to take. Again, it's always a function of what your account size is, how much risk you're taking on each trade. I can't give you the black and white answer that you're looking for there. So if that doesn't satisfy you, I'll kick that 1999 back to you. I just think where you want to focus is not as much on the strategy that you're using here in terms of success or failure. It's money management. Well, the old baseball analogy is overused, but it works, right? If, you get a hit 3 out of 10 times in the Major League Baseball, you're going to the Hall of Fame. That means you're striking out 7 out of 10 times. So now just put that into trading, right? So you're going to lose money 7 out of 10 times. And that's a reasonable assumption to make. I'm going to be wrong 7 out of 10 times. So if you start with that premise, then it forces you to have more substantial targets on every trade, because minimum's got to be 3 to 1 minimum. Right. So there's got to be some trades that you're in where you're getting 5, 6, 7, 8 to 1 to offset the 7 times that you're a loser. As long as those losers are small, you're going to be fine over time. You could literally do that with just shit. You could use the Vegas wave, right? I sell below it. I buy, I stay long above it. Right. We're out here on a weekly chart. Could you, right? It's always, I know. Easy in hindsight, right? But if just think about that. Okay, I buy it if it breaks above it. I buy it if it breaks above it. I sell it if it breaks below it. Right. And then, so there's an ultra simple approach, just a simple moving average, where most people start when they're trading. Oh, moving average, crossover, or above, below. This is the 233. So this is a long-term. Now, look, as we're going up here, how it's supporting that market. It's simple, right? So we're adding all this detail. I could take all of that shit off and just put the Vegas wave on. Could you make money with that? Bring up 20 assets and just do that. Just do it. You can do it with this, right? You can do it, you're here, you're long here, or, this kind of thing. You could just manually go through it and do it yourself. Okay, if I simplify, long above, what's my stop? My 1 risk reward minimum, right? So now that means you don't exit at 3 to 1 if it's still long. So here, okay, we touch it here. Now I'm long. I stay long. I'm still long. Let's get a long trade on here. So we'll take it right here. That feels like it's backwards. That's somebody else's color combo. Okay, where am I now? Just off of. No, the red is it's one of the other. See what happens when I copy all their charts, I get all their colors. So it's not my default, but it is the red being the stop. So okay, if I took it here, I'm still long. I'm at 5 to 1. This is, I think, the better way to answer that question. It's how much you're making when you're right as compared to how much you're losing when you're wrong. Here's a great example. Now here's one. Okay, well here's one where you get stopped out. Again, just trying to simplify, right? So if I'm taking that trade, Jesus. Oh, okay. So I'm going to have, so I went into that with a 3 to 1. Let me get this one out of here. Okay. So I'm stopped out. Oh shit. Fucked it up. Hang on. Give me a sec. Trying to buy it here. So I would have been stopped out here. I'm buying it here. Right. So that little loser compared to this winner, right? Because I'm buying it the next time. Right. So do you see the difference here? So I'm taking the stop here because I'm disciplined about my stops. I take the stop and reevaluate. Okay. Oh, hey, look at that. I'm on a week. Okay. 3 weeks, 4 weeks later, I'm back above the Vegas wave. I'm still long. Now, any of it to just look at a simple example like that. I do try and mention this often. And I kind of describe it this way. All of the puzzle solving, all of the detail, what is it? WXY, where's the algo? What's it? All that is that's the puzzle solving. That's the fun part. What determines success or failure in the market is your commitment to managing the risk. Always, always, always. Never how much can I make if I'm right? How much am I going to lose if I'm wrong? And you got to start with the assumption I'm going to be wrong 7 out of 10 times. You should start with that premise. Right? If you're doing better than that, well, you're on the all-star team and you're then going to the Hall of Fame. 3 out of 10 winners, you should be making money. And that 15 to 30% monthly should be doable. I mean, here again, we're on a weekly. But it's the same premise. You take it, say, I don't like to trade on the weekly. It takes too long. Same concept here. You damn near do the same thing. I mean, you could, right? Bullish above, right? How much am I? If it's just, I take a stop if it closes below the 233. Well, here, little stops, but look at the size of the winners when you're right. So if you keep that focus there, so all of this should be this. I say it this way: this is the fun part, right? This is the can I challenge my intellect? Can I figure out the puzzle? Can I solve the puzzle within rules and guidelines? If I can't, I don't take the trade. If I can, so where am I entering? Where am I wrong? Where am I out? What's my target? Is it 3 to 1 or greater? If you just focus on that piece of it, and we all do it. It's just part of the process, and you don't move your stops, right? The people who are disciplined about that often, and we have a number of members because they come in, they don't have bad habits, so they just go, oh, don't move the stop. Okay, well, Sam, I'll be damned. So I've got people that are new to the market outperforming people that have been around the market for 10 years because the guy who's got his ego involved doesn't want to be wrong, right? So he moves his stop. It's like coming down. Oh, I know it's going to go, right? So they move the stop because their ego's involved. And that's when you're new, your ego's not involved because you don't know enough to get your ego involved. Which is why new traders or female traders often, I think you guys know this, women traders often much, much better, right? Because their ego is not so involved, right? They'll say, oh, well, I guess I'm wrong here. Well, we'll try again. So hopefully that's giving you some little input on that. But I would tell you, I mean, if you can't make money with what we're teaching, something's wrong in the money management because there's just too many times. There's just too many times where you get that. Right, you get this price action. It's just too often where you get that. Too many times to be wrong, unless you're just taking way too much risk. Right, it's usually what it is. Right, so and we get that a lot. People will come to me, they'll join as a member. Hey, all right, I'm excited to be here. Let me tell you a little bit about my story. I started in XYZ, got this, was way up, gave it all back. So my first question is, why'd you give it all back? Well, I didn't want to be wrong. I thought I figured I'd just hold it here and it would come back, and now I'm completely blown up my account. So I'm starting again. Right. So they think the answer is going to be in the, it was all the time. It was the money management. All right. Let me, I don't know if I gave you the answer you wanted there, but that's what I would advise you with, if you're a member with us, I'd tell you the exact same thing. Focus on the money management. This is the fun part. All right. Silver. Okay. So we want the futures or the CFD? Oh, wait, oh shit. XAG. That's it. It would do this one. Just because more people will be able to. Silver is high margin. Oh, we'll take this one here. All right, so let's go to the daily. Okay, so here's our COVID low. Well, I mean, here's an example where I don't really care about what came before this. Looks like that's too. Now I am in log scale here. Boy, what's some beautiful Wyckoff here. Look at this. Flatten that out. Well, shit here. Well, it doesn't matter. All right, let's get off of that here. This is the nice spring. So the freak out on COVID recovery. So all that really matters here is we're going to start from this. So let's go down to the daily. Well, you're kind of stuck with that. This has to be, again, working backwards. That has to be the 3, the 4, and then the 1, the 2 is going to be. Well, God, that looks like Bitcoin. Damn it. It does. Okay, so let's wick this off. Lowest low. This one can now get out of here. Well, it's either 1, 2, 1, 2. Well, let's work from this low here. So I can get an impulse here, 2. Let's just, right, often, right, you just got to start labeling and you adjust on the fly. All right, so let's go micro here. All right, so there's something. So is it 1, 2, 1, 2? Does that work? This looks like that's a squeeze in there. Well, let's play it out and see if we can make that work. So here, if it's 1, 2, I swear to God, that's the exact same problem with Bitcoin. Exact same. Where's the 2? It's a bit of a guess, or an educated guess, we'll say it that way. All right, so classic double top. Great example of why you don't buy at the highs. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now that starts to look like it's a little like that 2 to that 4 doesn't quite work. So I don't like that. I want to finish this all here. Well, let's just see how we look here. A little skinny. So double tops, double bottoms. The metals markets are really prone to that. I can't say I like that because the 2, look at the 2 to the 4. I don't like it at all. So I'm going to try and finish that. I think I could. Well, that's an impulse we have to account for. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. I can't. This would be just so wacky. And it's not long enough. So you can't do it anyway. Well, let's go down to the 8, see if I can get any subdivision in there. Yeah, it looks like I could. Okay, so here's right. So these are easy to spot, right? Classic triangle. So it looks like we could finish this here. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, A, B, C, D, E. Looks like you could work another triangle in here, although you might need that. So might have to work that as a flat. We'll dig into it. 1, 2. You're gonna have to pull that out of there. There's a classic 3. A, B, C, W, X, Y, X, Z is what it looks like we got there. W, X, Y, X, Z. I want this over here. Do you see what's driving that here is, and this, we've talked about this a lot with Bitcoin. I want this all to be self-contained. I don't want to do this. Well, I mean, sometimes the market forces it, but that doesn't work, right? That look at the shape here of this is just, right, doesn't look right? The 2 and the 4 are way too off. Way too much time that's not balanced there. So I want to try and complete something here because this is all correcting that move. So can I complete it here? Yeah, I can. So I'd be inclined to think whatever we did up here, however we're going to label that, we completed something. So here's the completed impulse. Now we're going through all the correction of it. Oh, maybe that I've got to fan this out a little bit. I'm gonna buy the fuck out of that. Oh. So this could be. Yeah, looks like that could be our X. So we'd have to come down here for the Z. So let's think of it this way. W, X. This looks like it might be better. W, X, Y, X. That's not a great finish. A, B, C. A, B, C, A, B, C. It's a squeeze in there. You'd have to do, it's a bit of a squeeze. Well, so here's your problem child here. You'd have to do it something along these lines. Get that to fit. It looks, as it reads right now, it looks like that's your best because I can see a clear 5 to finish it. So I'm assuming you guys spot that. So it's where you can spot things and say, okay, if I work backwards from that. So just looking at this, I can see this right here, pretty clean finish. Right. So if that's knowing that I have to finish in a 5, That's not a reasonable say, okay, well, if that's my 5 that finishes, okay, well, it looks like I can work through some sort of a B there. It's a little bit tougher on the A. So this has to work backwards. So this has to be 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so same kind of thing, right? So where are the 5s? Where are the 3s? All right, same thing. All right, so this looks like here's a good 5, 3, 4, and we finish it here. So let's go up a degree. Let's go to here. We'll do that. Not a great 1 to start it. Jesus, can we work that? You have to double top that. Well, let's just see about that. If this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay, that works. So we actually do need that. All right, so let's come here. So we'd go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's take that up a degree. All right, so nothing particularly crazy here. It's just, okay, when you're digging into it, okay, where can I spot the 5s? Because I know I have to finish in a 5, regardless of however we're counting this. So can I work backwards? Right? Well, here, there's no subdivision here. It's just a free fall, waterfall. All right. So, okay, we finished something here because this has to be the B for us to finish this 5. So working backwards, B. All right. And it's a kind of wonky, but it works, right? So let's change that color. 1, 2, there's the impulse, the requirement. I got to have an impulse here. A, B, C into the 4, free fall into the 5. This is a little tight. Well, look at the Vegas wave here, right? Can you, I have a feeling this is going to permeate, right? Could you make money here, right? On the 8 hour in silver, just using the Vegas wave. Buy it above, I sell it below. That's a rhetorical question. I'm assuming you guys see that and go, yeah, I think I could, right? So how much am I going to lose when I'm wrong compared to how much I'm going to, here's a great example. Right? So I sold it here. Now, did you re-enter again here, right? That's why, what was his name? Seth. That's why I can't quite give you a straight answer there, a black and white answer. Because so much of it is a function of, do you, if you're stopped out, are you willing and prepared to go back into the market, right? If the market stalls, sets up, and maybe you got the timing on the first one wrong, but will you go back again? That's kind of part of it, because this would have been very easy to get kind of lost up here and say, what are we doing up here? Chopping, right? Are we going up to get a new high? There's no clear Elliott count in terms of what I'm doing here. So, yeah, of course, in hindsight, now I'm working backwards going, is that the 1, 2, 1, 2 right now? And see, now when I have all of this, I can put it together here. But if you're over here, you don't know what the hell's coming. You're thinking, oh shit, man, look, I got higher highs and higher lows. I'm thinking this is going up. The trend is up. Now will you sell it here? Again, using the simple Vegas wave as an example. All right, if you sold it here, if you longed it here, did you get stopped out here? That's mighty tight, right? That's hopefully tight for a stop to be just 2 ticks below it. But if you did get stopped out, did you get stopped out here? That's 16 hours later. Are you prepared to go again? Do you go again? So this would be, is this a failure, right? So, oh shit, here, let's do it this way. If I bought the break of the Vegas wave here and I got stopped out right there, okay, is that a failure? Well, as far as I'm concerned, you're stopped out, but it's all in the context of, did I buy it the next time it crossed? Did I have that discipline, or I say, well, I don't know, man. I just got stopped out there. I thought it was going higher. I'm not so sure now. What if it goes down? Well, it looks, hey, there's a 3. It looks like it's going down. Above, I sell it below. So did you buy it right off the bat 16 hours later? Or did you say, well, let me wait and see? Even if you did that, even if you said, well, let me just confirm that we're going to get beyond the Vegas wave. Well, I'm assuming you see that, right? It gives you a nice little gift here. Oh shit, man. I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure I was going to take that one. What? You got all that structure right in there, right? Wick rejection, just what you're looking for. Oh, we're up and above. Oh, I didn't take it. Oh, okay. Well, all right. Should I take it now? Are you waiting? See, I mean, this is, again, I can't give you. See, are you waiting for that break? Are you waiting? How are you approaching the market, right? So do you wait? Oh, I can't. That looks like that might be a low, but I'll wait until it breaks here. Okay. All right, if you're taking it right here, where's your stop? Here? Well, you can just look at that and see the problem with that, right? So if I'm a lot long here with a stop, I mean, you didn't even get 2 to 1, did you? 1.41 to 1 before it's turning. So this needed to go way, 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 way higher. So you get stopped out over here. So disappointed is what you'd be right there. Now, here, did you sell it here? Ooh, that would have been tight. That's why you can't be right on it. You got to give it a little room. Retest here, right? But possible place to add. It's not quite a black and white answer, but let me get back to silver here. If that's WXY, I don't know why I always put those in green, but that's what I'm used to. WX could be done. Okay, so where's the trade? So we got a complex, long ass correction here. Oh, that probably, I don't think you'd get a lot of variation from Elliotticians on that. There's not too many things. So I like to use regression channels. So I know I'm at 2 standard deviations. So there's a nice little break. So if this is a reasonable candidate, well, essentially what we've got here is just a giant accumulation, right? So it's one or the other. So if we bring in a little Wyckoff, are they distributing here? Is this distribution? Sure looks like it. If I put this in log scale, probably emphasize it. This looks a lot like distribution, right? Now, the problem with Wyckoff, well, I shouldn't say it that way. One of the challenges with Wyckoff is distribution and accumulation or reaccumulation look exactly the same. So looking at that right there, it sure looks like this was distribution at the top. What we got below? Oh, here's the VZO. This looks like distribution. So do you want to be buying right into this? Well, okay. So now look over here, or here's where all the volume is. So let me take it out of log scale. Just at first glance here, this would be higher. You're going into where kind of anything can happen here, right? You're coming back to the POC here while I'm on an 8 hour. So I might look for something like that, right? One of these high volume nodes are going to be reasonable places to enter. Now this is tied to this. So if I'm digging into that, I might go down to the 4. I'd stay on for something like silver or gold, crude. You want to stay on the higher time frames because you would just get, Jesus, if you look at crude today, it's making 200-point swings. It's just incredibly volatile. So you've got a count here that looks like it makes sense. And you've got this area now that we've kind of tapped right on the, now note here, we're on the edge. Look at the air pocket here. Right. So you can look at it and you can kind of see the thinking in the market, right? So there's an air pocket over here that if it were to break further, there's no support. Oh, shit. There's no support there. Right. So because this is all tied to this, right? Where it just went straight up rocket, right? There's no support there. So it's not terribly surprising that they find support here because bulls will be defending there because you can just look at the freaking volume profile and know, well, okay, if it breaks, we're going down here. It's not that hard to figure it out. Okay, if this breaks, we're going down here because there's no support. There's nobody there to defend it, right? Just an air pocket. So this is a reasonable location to say, okay, this was defended repeatedly. 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Yeah, they got a little further here, but it gave us the 5. It's like, again, if we're going to use a little Wyckoff, that's the spring, right? That's the head fake. That's to get retail shorting. Guarantee they did. Guarantee you. Now, who's buying there? So I promise you that was breakout traders took that, right? And then why do I say that? Why do I know that? Because look at the reaction. All right, that's so far in your face. This creates panic. So the stops are getting triggered. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And then the latecomers jump in, or here we get this, and now they're pushing it higher. So this looks like, all right, so looks like that's already started there. That looks 4-ish. So it looks like you'd have to do it. Oh, I'm just going to throw something up here just to get it started, which often is a good way to approach it. Just, all right, I got to put them somewhere. Let's start there and see if I need to tweak it. All right, so that's not a great 1-2, but maybe down at the 2 hour, I can get something a little bit better. That's not much of a start. You might be stuck with that. Boy, that's ugly. Do that. I'll do this. Boy, are you stuck with that? You might be. This is the 2. That sure looks like a good 3. Can't say I like that. All right, but let's just consider it, right? So here, okay, now with closer inspection, maybe I got to change that, right? So here's all self-contained, which I like, but that I can't finish there. So that looks like it's part of the, well, that's a little tricky. All right, so I can see why someone was asking. That's a fucker. Let's see if can we actually do that? Can we make that work? I guess you can. So there's the 5, there's the C. So we need that is this. So we get a 2 here. Let me get this out of here. So we get a 1, 2. Oh, let's see. Do we want to do it this way? 3, 4, no, A, B, C. So I do it that way. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I've got a 5 here. So I've got to go with an A, B, C here. A, B, C, D, E. There might be a little triangle in there. Actually, looks like it is. All right, so you got a little fucker in there. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so here completes. Now I got a very sideways 2, which you don't love, but that's what we've got, right? So 1 looks like W, X, Y here. So that would be your 2. Now this is a, let's put these up here. Got to deal with them. Looks like you could do it. So again, things that I just do by habit, right? So significant pivots, I want to wick them off. So it looks like you can get a diag in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So leading diag. So 5 longer than 3, 3 longer than 1. So I got a 1, 8. Well, fuck. That's going to be a WXY again. WXY. Put you back in there. Okay, so this has to go up a degree. Let's go up micro, go to white. Okay, 1, 2. Out of curiosity, same thing we all have to do is, right, measure twice, cut once. So, oh, that's interesting. Make sure I'm tight on that. Looks like it's long enough, but then you gotta make sure you're spot on it. 1, 2. That looks like it's good. 2. So we are. So you see the little wick. So right now I can put the 3 there, but I don't think I want to use it there. I think I want to push this higher. I want to use it up here because that's where I'm expecting it to get. All right. So because this is a leading diag, I can't go 1, 2, 3. So it has to be 1, 2, 1, 2. Has to be. All right, so this actually has to go up a degree. Okay. So this would be 1, 2. Let's put it there for the time being. Let's just see. Now we got to head back and measure. Let's go here. Would that be long enough? It doesn't look like it would be. But maybe that would be 1 at a higher degree. Okay, so 1, 2, 1, 2. All right, if we're lucky, this will be long enough. Yep, it is. So we're second most common. All right, 1, 2, 7, 1, 3, 8 window. All right, so we're good. All right, so we've got them. So there's the process right there. That's exactly what I do on every chart and pretty much every one of our members, right, who's now studied. It's that process of saying, okay, where are the 5s? Where are the 3s? Where are my retracements? what have I got there? We're going sideways. We're going, again, the first glance there, looking at that, I couldn't get that until I got down to the 30-minute. That's why you have to dig down to lower time frames. Oh, look, I do have it. Oh, a nice little triangle in the 4. Okay, so I got a good 1 here. All right, so this I should have done, right? So I'm wicking off that 1. 1, 2. I'm still seeking that 3, right? Because remember, that's the 1, 6, 1, 8, right, that we're looking for. So I get this wonky, oh, shit. I just spotted something. Okay, we're going to have to change the count, right? So come here. We're going to have to change the count because of that. So that can't work. So we can't go 1, 2, 1, 2, 3 if we can't have a diag here. So that's actually on the fly. You got to change it. Again, this is what we all go through. Okay, so 1, 2, not far enough, right? So that's actually bullish. So this has to go higher. Okay, so 1, 2, 1, 2. That's going to be hard to dispute any other Elliottician because that is so clearly a diag. 1, 2, right? That can't be the 3 because it can't overlap. I can't have a diag, so this has to be 1, 2 yet again. And it looks like I can do it yet again. So back to, all right, we got to work with what's here. So everything has to be accounted for. All right, let's go to, what did we not use there? Let's go back to white. Okay, so I've got a 1. So it looks like it's another WXY. Jesus, a lot of WXYs in here. WXY. All right, so let's just check it, right? I do this just out of habit. See algo involved here. It's not tick perfect here, but they may have front run this. Well, okay, let's continue with that count. So this has got to go, oh shit, come here. This has got to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Still underway. So this has got to go up come here. It's got to go up a degree. And let's change that color. Oh, here, we'll go back to blue. All right. So 1, 2, 1, 2. Not an easy count. I can see why you were asking. Okay. So this now has to go up. This one goes up. All right, as you piece them together, you got to alternate the degrees and colors. Actually, this one should be something else. Put that in green. W1, 2. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Right, that's all you're left with. So obviously, very bullish. Now, what I would do next here is start wicking off the target zones. Right, so we did this a little bit. So this is 1, 2. All right, since I know that this can't be my 3, now I would take that 3 and put it up here at the 2, 6, 1. All right, say, okay, if I'm going to get a big rip here I'll draw it out. Oh, you might even make some notes, right? Just so you put a little text box saying, okay, if this is going to go 1, 2, and I'm going to get a big 3 here because I've got to account for this as 1, 2. This would be a reasonable target for the biggest 3. Well, the 3 that I'm looking for. Now, can I add some geometry? Is there anything to help here? Well, that's giving me a time burned right here. Because of that, I might back one and see what has still not been burned. This might still could be too far. Let's tighten that up. Don't count that out. Would not surprise me at all. I'm going to hide it just to clear up the chart, right? But I would leave that somewhere, right? And you've got another one here as well. So you want to just use everything you can, right? So 80% already hit, but this upper target here might play, but I still got to deal with this 3, right? So 1, 2 coming off of that. We know that's not quite a 50. Again, I'm going to hide it here, but you would want to keep those off in your tree where you keep all your pitchforks together and come back. Which one is the market responding to? So this one has got to go pretty big up here. 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. All right, are we in the 3? Well, kind of the same idea. Let's have a target. 1, 2. Right, minimum distance here. This is what we're looking for on that 3 at this 1618, 175 window, which overlaps with another one. So I might do it this way and then change the color. Oh, let's do something red here. So I know that there are 2 different targets. Okay, so I've got 161.8, 175 windows here. I've got this one, and then I've got this one, both suggesting a wave 3 target up here. Some of this could go higher. So, right, you're just traditional Elliott. You could do some of this. Okay, all right, so we're self-contained here. Now you're expecting that to break. When it breaks, you could always, you guys have seen me do this many times. I might just start by going, increasing by half. If I need the full boat, I'll take it up here and say I doubled the channel. Now that starts to frame out pretty nicely, right? So I'm kind of working with what I've got here. This is what the market is giving me. I can identify the 5s and the 3s. I've got, this is the last, what you remember, right? This is all the market ever does, right? Swing, retrace. That's all it does, right? Swing, retrace, right? All this complexity. This is us trying to deal with it, saying what's most probable to happen next. That's it. That's all we ever get. 1, 2, looking for that 3. So this, unless there's a big rip in it, looks like it just completed. So makes you nervous to do this, right? But it looks like that's yet again going to be another 1, 2, right? So this is getting so freaking bullish, right? You start to, I did this last week with Bitcoin where it's like, are you kidding me? How many 1, 2s is this going to be? You got targets over 1 million. Well, here we're getting 26, way up here so we'd be in the 30s. And all of it is still tied to this first 1, 2, which was back to what we were looking at here, right? This one, right? That was, all right, when we've got all the way up to the 2618. So I'd put another one up here where I've got this confluence up here, same thing, right? So, which is not a bad way to do it. And you could color match them, right? If you were looking for ways to keep track of it, because after a while, it just saves you time from saying, okay, well, all of you could do them in the same color. Say, oh, the whites, okay, that's that target. The blues, okay, I'm going to make it in blue. I'm going to the greens, right? So I think you follow my idea. So you've got all of these up here. You don't need to keep that all over your chart. So now as this is going, it looks like that's another 1, 2. So all of this implies much higher prices. So I'm getting very bullish here. You got a nice base down here. This is the base you're working from. Let's put that back to, what was I in? Blue. Okay, so I've got a nice base here, right? So this is look at the high volume. Right, so I've got this base that we worked from. So I went sideways for so long. Here's the fake, right? That's the up thrust. Back down here. Now here's the legitimate break, right? It's up, swing. Look what it does. Test the POC and the Vegas wave. 1, 2. Looks like that's still going. So where's the next buy? Well, I'd be just, shit, this morning I'm going to chase this with you. All right. So here we do it. Well, we did this right. Look at these nice little pivots right here to play off here just in front of the golden zone. So if this is going to come down a little bit lower, this is not hard to figure this one out, right? I'm looking for that. I've got all this structure here. I don't need, so the Vegas wave is right there. So if I put my stop, below the 786, I will have closed below the Vegas wave, right? Again, trying to, offer you that simplicity. So there's all of this this is not an easy count, right? So that if you're brand new to Elliott Wave, that you wouldn't get that right off the bat. That just takes years of doing it. So you can go, oh, I've seen this before. I've seen it before. That's a lot of what drives me because I'm, pulling on 30 years of experience. Okay. So this looks like there's very little to suggest that we're doing this. This is just, it's a difficult count, but the premise here is we're making higher highs. We are trending, and this looks like you're in your standard retrace here, even if you pulled it up a little bit to include those. So look where my entries are here. So I'd split it. I'd do 50% at the 50, the other 50 at the golden zone on those pivots, right? Because you don't know which one it's going to pivot on. And we're down at a 30 minutes. So I'd much prefer to get it like this, right? Obviously, we'd like to see it come in a 3. If you get that, you got to buy that. Well, whoever's interested in silver, well, it's up to you, right? So it's whether you try and take the pivot or you want to wait for, as I'll often suggest, wait for the reaction, and then you'd be down at a 5-minute. Wait for a little pullback here. That's a little dangerous. I wouldn't go below a 15. Get a reaction if you're more comfortable with that. If you're trading it with your Forex broker, you can, do we have micros? I don't think we do have micros in silver. You could trade in the CFD. I don't know how you're trading it, but if you're trading the futures market, here's what I would be careful of: taking the full margin of the futures market. I would hedge it myself, right? I would have some at the money puts just in case something weird happens. And if it starts to go, then you can just drop the put, and that's just a cost of a little bit of an insurance policy to make sure you get off to a good start, which is often, that's not a bad way to go. I shouldn't assume that people watching here know how to work with options. But if I'm a little uneasy about something, and this, I don't know that I'd be uneasy about this, but if I were, when you enter the market, you can go at the futures and then buy a put. Right now, you're going to pay for that to make sure you get the reaction that you're looking for. If you don't, you can bail on the futures and ride the put down. If you get the reaction you're looking for, well, then you can drop the put and say, okay, I got what I was looking for. Now, your net is going to be lower because you're going to take a loss on the put, but it won't be dramatic. If you get the reaction, you got to bail on the put pretty quickly so you don't lose a ton, right? The further it goes away from that entry price, the greater the drop in value of the put. So you want to get out of that relatively quickly. And if you wanted to hedge it, again, I don't mean to get off into a bunch of stuff about options, but if you wanted to, you got a target up here. So if it starts going towards your 3, you could sell out of the money calls up here, which are covered by your futures contract to offset the cost of that put. Now you cap your upside, but you make back the loss on the 2. Those, options are just another set of tools to work with in the market, right? There's a lot of things you can do with them creatively. I was an option broker for 10 years. So, that was a very common technique that we would use. I like it, but I'm not, I want to hedge it. Or if you're going to take it overnight, shit happens overnight, especially if you're doing something like crude, right? I would never take something in crude overnight without a hedge. You just buy the at the money. You don't have to buy a 90-day put. You buy a weekly put, right? Do I get the reaction? Just in case you get something unusual, then let it go, drop the put. If you want to sell the call because what you got to be careful of here is that it starts to go, you drop the put, you think, oh, good. And then it does this. So you have to be disciplined on the stop. So once it starts to go, you got to put the stop there and say, okay, I'm willing to scratch. Your net here would be a negative, but it'd be much less than if you didn't hedge this and get stopped out. I'm a scratch on the futures, but I would have lost money on the put, but not a lot if you bailed quickly. You drop the put and you're all good. All right. I think we covered silver there. That was a tricky count, right? It's a good suggestion.
In depth, and then we've got our member ones. But
this was a really good one. That's a good one. That's one to give members as a see what they come up with. That's a tricky count. A good suggestion. Whoever did that, very good. So what's our next one?
Aqua Medals.
We got a symbol.
Just type in Aqua Medals. AQUA. AQ.
Yeah. I got it's just got to be an. Well, here, let's go to Aqua. What did I do? Spell it wrong?
Yeah.
Aqua.
AQUA. No U.
Oh, pardon me. AQUA.
And then metals.
Got it. Okay. Oh shit. All right. Let's.
And he's requesting weekly time frame, looking long term.
Weekly. Oh, all right. I like the long-term stuff. Okay. So, all right. So right off the bat, we don't have to worry about any of that, right? Because all we're worried about is now this. I mean, Jesus, we're almost at 0 there anyway. So I just, force a habit. I'd wick that off, right? You pop it in the log, you can get that nailed. Well, we have the range for log scale. Well, this is a classic. This is pretty, right? We can see what that is, right? Nice, just right, lack of trend, right? We're just in a box here and we resolve out of it and we finish with a 5, right? So, I mean, you wanted to, right? It's not bad exercise, right? To do it, right? So it's an ABC, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, triangle in the 4. Right? So some of this stuff starts to pop out after a while, oh, triangle. Oh, that's got to be the 4. Oh, well, it can't, well, it looks like a triangle, but it can't be a triangle because that's 1, 2, right? So you'd have to think 1 A, B, C into the 2, right? So you got to account for just little things you pick up along the way. So whatever we did here, we got a textbook here. We got a textbook correction, just perfect. A, B, C. Oh, it looks like I'd be willing to bet you that's parity as well, or very close to it. Not quite, close to it. All right, so whatever we got here, we get a hard low. Well, that's a little fucker right there. Something happened there. Is that might be earnings? What do we have here? Somebody got bent over there. All right, so we can work on this. So I'm going to go back. So I'm only going down a degree. Oh shit! Do we have to do that? Just to see if I can get a 1-2 there. Yeah, that works. Okay. So we can get that, although I don't like that. Well, what's the alternate? This is an expanded B, and the 5 is up here. Well, let's come out of log here. No, let's go back to log. It's too far. All right, so let's look here. All right, would that make sense? If this is the 5, this would be mighty shallow here. If this is the 5, oh, Jesus, you don't get a 2. The 1, 2, 3 is solid. This is just a pain in the ass. So there's almost no count here, but it would be more likely a 5. So if you went A, B, or W, X, A, B, C, 2, 3, 4. Oof, this is a bitch. Let's see why you wanted to ask about this one. This is a toughie. All right, let's go to, right, so this, right, when you see those, often a line chart can help. Okay, so this impulse is good. See, that now makes me think more likely it's the 4, and that we got the big, I don't love it, but that's what I would start with looking at it. So this is a wonky, well, actually, you'd have to put it over here. So we had to go A or W, expand the B down for the C, although that's not much of a 4. You can simplify it and just say, what do we do, right? We didn't progress the trend. We're just going sideways. Now, it's a short and sharp 2, sideways 4. Okay, I can live with it. I don't love the size of that, but when you get an extension like that, next place to measure is length of the start of the 1 through the pivot of the 3. See if I get anything up here. Now we're certainly, 1618 would have been what I was looking for. Not bad. Okay, so it's a little unusual given the extension being in the 5th like that, but it works, right? So 3 is certainly not the shortest. Now that, I suppose you'd have to do it there. So we can finish this. It looks like it's, Jesus, it looks like you have it again. That's what I want to do. That would just be too wonky. So it's got to be, you'd have to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to get the 5. Okay, so this looks like, let's open that up. Well, you can't get an impulse in there. And again, I know you want the longer term, so I'm only breaking this down to see what's in there. Okay, so I right off the bat now, so having gone to a lower time frame, I can see a clear 5 here. All right, so let's get that nailed down. Okay, so working backwards, if this is, Jesus, can I get that? A, yeah, you have to do it this way. You'd have to do A, B, C. Let's get you micro. Let's put my corrections in yellow. Okay, so, and all I'm doing is just saying, okay, I got a clear impulse here. Can I finish this? Can I work backwards? All right, so whatever I did, right, is not done, right, because the correction wasn't done here. So right off the bat, that would make me think, okay, I've completed an ABC, but I didn't finish. So W, X, although that looks like a 5, doesn't it? So we're working on, let's see if I go down to a 2. Can I get 3 in there? Yeah, she can. Into a W. Whew, that ain't pretty. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I can finish the 5. So we have to do it this way. A, B, C. It ain't pretty. Now, is it technical? Going to be too far. Oh, I'll be damned. Right. So yeah, I'm off though. Right. So you got a slight break here. So you have to go back to the top. Kind of in no man's land here. Maybe here. This is so close. It could be just a stop run, but I wouldn't gamble on it. So that being, it looks like that's your best candidate here. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Where are the 5s? Where are the 3s? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like there's an A. Again, kind of a shitty. Look at the Vegas wave right there. That has to be the 3. This isn't done. And this is 1, 2. Let's start with the premise that it's done here. So now we'd be thinking, since that's already broken, you'd have to take this to a WXY for now the ABC. So this needs an A. B, C would be ideal. We've already broken this. So if that's going to hold, if this is going to be the A, this would have to be an expanded B. So this is going to need to rally for that count to hold. Otherwise, oh shit, is there an alternate here that I'm not seeing? 1, 2. It ends with a diagonal, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is the 5 that finishes. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4 diag to finish 3. So there's the impulse that's in the middle of it. There's the 4. Now is that the 5? You'd have to leave it here and kind of wait and see what happened. Now look here, look off to the left. All right, do you see this kind of an air pocket here? So because that's tied to this, right, where it just rocketed up. So you don't have a lot of support here. So this is going to need to hold, or that's going to start to get a little bit uglier. Now let me go back to a 4 here. All right, where are we? Now we're still in log scale. No, I don't hate it. All right, so the prior 3, 4, right, down a degree, common retracement point would be, so I'd wick this off. Right, this potential structure. Low volume node here. You kind of want that to go up a little bit. I'd rather that kicked one more time because you're kind of stuck here. Well, so here's what I would conclude, right? Just you're sitting in this little box below the Vegas wave. You're just above the structure. I'd use this. It's a better play for it. Now, is that the B? I hate that B. A. So you'd prefer that to go a little bit further, but you may have to recount. If this is just going to drift lower, it doesn't look like that could be done. You'd be finishing it right here. That doesn't quite look right. It looks that it would be too compressed. Now, of course, I say that, but if we do this, well, sorry about it, right? I mean, that's. This is an impulse we have to account for. This is an impulse we have to account for. So the only thing you can start to do, see, you can't go A, B, C, W, X. Well, no, you can't do it, right? Because we get a lower low here. You can't go W, X, Y because we get a lower low here. You want this to go a little higher. You want a bit more of a B here to set you up for the C. So if you're looking for the long side, which I'm going to guess you are, I'd be very interested down here if I got it. And this there may be a triangle for all we know. Right? So what's going on there? But this completes, that finishes.
Yeah, I did it, and I've got macro value area low at 127. So I could see a little drop. And then
you kind of want it to, but this is not a great looking B.
Yeah. But then if it gets above 450, it should just rocket. That's since he's looking weekly.
Oh yeah. Okay. So let me take that all the way back to the weekly here, which is what he was asking about. But that's, even though you're interested weekly, if you're going to put an Elliott count on it, you got to work through all of that detail at the lower time frames. So you're just kind of chopping here, waiting. Ideally, you'd get this, right? So you'd get a little bit of a kick higher, and then it would come down here, and you'd be in all of this structure here. You got a big high volume node here, and that's where I would be buying it comfortably. If you come out of this, I'd be cautious about this. Because really, it looks like it's finishing the B. So what would you do here to try and say, okay, when can we confirm? Well, the first thing you're going to have to clear, very first thing, is the sell side. Got to clear that, right? Here's the closest dominant. So you got to get through this for that to be, and that would actually play, well, pull it out a little further. Boy, would that play pretty with the Elliott count. If you got an A, B, you don't want that to be done here. You want it, let's label it. You want this to be A, B, working towards the C. That's what you want. Now, market doesn't always give you what you want, right? So that's just the reality of it. But that's, if I were teeing up a trade, I'd be real close to watching this. Now, let's just assume that we get through it. All right, so this would likely be, so we'd have to figure out an alternate finish. Maybe there's a different way to count it at a smaller time frame. If it breaks up above this here, likely you're starting the new trend, right? So here we're just basing, right? And this has a tendency to do that. Here we're basing, right? Before it moves on. Here at just a smaller degree, are you kind of basing here? Again, note we've got the air pocket down below. So you really want that to come up and then come down. Look, if it got the target here, you'd be getting it right at the algo target. So this is the trade you're hoping for right there. So you'd have the C of the B, and you'd get all of this lined up, and now you're buying at a 50 at structure. That's the one you take comfortably, right? And you could go a little bit heavier there. But it doesn't look like it's quite done yet. So the alternate being, if it pops up here and you get through, well, then you're just going to have to wait for the first retrace, which will come. This is the mistake many people make, right? So it starts to go, they think, oh shit, man, I missed it. I knew that thing was going to pop and I missed it, right? So it breaks here and they buy it right here. And then the first thing it does is put them underwater. Very common, because you just played right into the FOMO. Even if it does this, you just got to wait. You got to wait for it to retrace, because it will retrace. It will. Yes, there's no certainty in the markets, but odds are very, very high that it will retrace, because the people that catch this, the temptation to take profit will be too much. So that's why we retrace, because the bulls, and particularly the bulls that are not professionals, will holy shit, look at. If it gets a little bit weak, then their stops start getting hit, and then the bears pile on and say, oh, I knew it wasn't going to break that high. That's what happens. So then you get to where it's decision point. Then it's like, okay, well, how interested am I in getting long here? You'd be back here finishing this going, God, that was sure ugly, but boy, I guess we finish it here. So 1, 2. Am I sad about that? No. I might be disappointed that I didn't get one of them got away, but it's not a clean setup, right? So you're a little bit, so you can take that. I would tell you, if you took that trade because maybe there's something going on fundamentally, which is why you're interested here. But if you got that push, something's driving that. And if you come out of this, maybe there's a fundamental story behind it that's driving that. But here you're just rolling dice here. You can pull it. I can get that hot. Just look left, right? It has a tendency to just get in these stall patterns here. Same thing here. Stall, break. Stall. What are we going to do? So you're right where literally you're just rolling dice here, right? You have better odds and free drinks in Vegas. 50-50. No, let me say it this way, make more sense. There's no edge. You have no edge over the other traders. There's just, you're in the high volume region. The count is questionable. Not everybody's trading with an Elliott count. So where are we? We're right at structural support. You can even bring it down here and say, we're right at this prior resistance before it dropped off. Now we got through it. Now we're back testing from above, right? It's the classic. Okay, we dropped, came back here, it was rejected. Now we get through. Now we're testing from above, right? Is that enough to buy off of? Well, I don't want to talk you out of the trade. If you are inclined to be long here based off of things that you know about Aqua Medals fundamentals, then I don't want to talk you out of the trade. For me, just as a technician, this is no edge. So why? I'll wait. Show me your hand, right? So if it's going to go up, down, then I know right where I am in the Elliott count. If it does this, I'm good. I know right where I am. If it doesn't, I'd still be a little shit. How am I going to? You'd probably talk yourself into this, right? Some sort of a 3 just finished. And if you get a big launch out of that, okay, well, the correction's over, right? We corrected this. There's the 3. Now we're off to a new leg, right? So if this coming off this low, that would be the 1. 2, ugly 2, but now we're off, right? So it's not going to go, well, not likely to go in a straight line. There will be this, right? Because then you're going to need the 3. All right. Hopefully that gives you something to think about. That's a tricky count, right? These have been challenging. I can understand why those are requests. All right. So we back to the list. Money.
Yep. You're
okay. Where'd I leave off? I left off with Trotter. Okay. Let me go back here. All right. What's Trotter giving me? Good choices today from people watching. Those are good suggestions. All right. Well, Trotter always gives me something good. Cobalt Blue. Why do I know this company? Cobalt Blue. All right, let's get out of that. Oh, well, that's interesting, right? When we switch to traditionals, I'm getting much more longer time frame stuff than we typically do with alts. All right, so, that's good work there. Nice, Trotter. All right, you got nothing else to work with here, so you just got a flat now. So that's good work, right? So the pain in the ass of a flat is that it's got to go 90% of the way back, which I'm guessing he's identified here. If I go, where's my platinum? Platinum. Well, that's 887. So in my book, that's far enough. If it breaks the 887, I'll give that the expanded B, or pardon me, the B, right, of a flat. So we got to go A, B, C, A, B, C. Oh, shit. That's a tough finish. We are on a weekly, but that's good work, Trotter. We put an Elliott count around it, but what are we doing here, right? Really just going nowhere at a high volume node, just going sideways. Oh, no, we come out of it. So you really call all of this accumulation. Or so it's how the markets work. Up we go, down we base. Flat correction. Good eye. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice. 1, 2, 3. Oh, look at that. So this is good work, Trotter. Let's go down to the daily. Sharp correction, right? Demonstrate here that they have an awareness. It's not hard to do. It's just an extra thing to put. So it gives you, it's really done not for my benefit to demonstrate that they know, it's for their own benefit, right? I would encourage you to do the same thing. So it just gives you a little more conviction. Okay, I've identified it here. Oh, look at this. I got a flat here. So I'm looking for sharp here. I'll be damned. Look what I get. I get a sharp. So it just mentally, right? So much of trading is being willing to pull the trigger. Right? You often hear me say you cannot trade successfully with fear. Fearful money never produces profit, right? Because you're way too quick to get out. You're way too quick you do the exact opposite of what you're supposed to do, or what you need to do, which is to let your winners run and cut your losers short, right? If you're nervous about the market, well, you're likely going to cut your losers quickly, but you're not going to let your winners run because, oh my God, I'm up $200. I got to jump on that. And if you're coming from a position where you've had drawdown, then that's even more complicated because then it's even harder to let it go because you get up 200 or 2,000, you think, oh shit, I got to take it because I need to recover from the losses. That's probably the most common mistake that new traders make because I got to recoup. And then the trade that made 2,000 goes on to make 10,000. but I digress. All right. So this is nice work here. 1, 2, 3, beautiful. Just great Elliott work here, Trotter. It's really nice. So we got to account for this, right? We got a nice impulse here. There's the 4, which I know he's already done this, but I'm just going to do it for our benefit here. So we don't want platinum. We're looking for the 30, right? Here's our high probability zone. We went a little past the 38. Looks like it's ricocheting off of that a little bit. Here we get a high volume node right there. And I am in log scale. Did he give it to me in log? Yeah, he did. As a matter of fact, he wrote log, 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 log. It's in log. Okay, I got you, Trotter. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Well, so it looks like we're just, man, you like big degrees. Jesus. Even those are too big. Let's go down to, I usually don't go above minuet. All right, so 1, 3, 4. Okay. What's not to like here? Why? Well, so the only question now is, where's the next entry? Well, you got your 1, 2. There's nothing not to like about that. Let's go down to micro. Okay, so it's just right, what you'll find, right? The members know this, right? YouTube's watching it. You'll notice I do the exact same thing every time. All right, so what I would tell you is your advantage if you can stick with that rather than going, well, shit, I took 3 losers. Well, that doesn't work. Okay, 1, 2. Well, I got a reasonable target, and the same thing as I was showing you before. I'm just going to wick that off. Say, okay, well, that's my target. Looks like that was likely technical, so we probably got a corner pocket here, which we do. Now that's a little. Oh shit! I want that. That's a little skinny. So my guess is that 80's already been hit. All right. So here's the corner pocket. Boom. Got it. Right. So it looks like we're going upper parallel. Said this before, right? I mean, if you only took one trade, right, in the algo zone, and you just went for the median line, a very successful career. So we could say, we've blown right through. So obviously the market is pulling towards the upper parallel here. Now, are we going to get there in a straight line? Well, I wouldn't count on that, but we have reasonable targets up here. We know that's what we're looking for based on the 1618 we just drew. So if this is 1, 2, looks like we're in the 3. So it looks like it's just starting here. So it looks like that's 1, 2, 3. We're working on the 4, trying to go up and get that 5, right? We know we need an impulse here. So that reduces options here. This has to be an impulse. So this is a nice looking setup, right? So you wouldn't now, do you want to buy it now? I would suggest not, right? You're late. You wanted to buy it down here. Once it's done, well, we've already got the algo target, right? So that's already been paid, going towards second target. This would not be the place to buy it. I don't know if there'd be any benefit of going down here. This looks like it's too thinly traded, but it looks like you'd have to go 1, 2, 3, working on the 4 sub. Let's go to white. So it's, what has he got? He's got this highlighting the extended hours, it looks like. So let's go back to the daily. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So you could, right? You got a little structure here. So you could play off of some of that. You get the high volume node here. So if the 4 doesn't look like it's quite done here. So if we get a little bit more of a pullback here, back to the median line, if this comes back to the median line, you could look to trade the 4 to the 5, right? But you're not looking for a home run here, right? Because that would be, while that's possible, you're gonna have fuel here, right? There'll be stops all over that. 3, 4. I do the same thing, right? I'd wick that off. We don't know how far this goes. If it goes a little further, maybe you get your 3 here and you're coming back to the 4 here at that prior structure here. Either one of these would be good candidates for, and I might do it that way. So, and if we come back towards that median line, boy, that's a trade you take right there. If you got it, right? We don't know, right? I don't have any of this. I don't have it. But that's how I would lay that out. I would not be a buyer. Now, if I got a nice little 3 here at the median line with that structure, yeah, I wouldn't go large there, but I'd take a swing at that. I don't know cobalt blue, but I'd take a swing at that. But here, I mean, so you look at it this way. If institutions with size want to come in here. Where are they going to go? Where are they going to, because they don't want to give away what they're doing. So they have to do it at these high volume nodes where they can hide it. Well, best they can, right? To the average person, they would be able to hide it. So where are they going to do that? They're going to do it where all the volume is, where they can, if they're going to put it in blocks, right? It's not going to stay. It's not going to be like, oh my God, we got a, $20 million just came into Cobalt Blue, right? So that would be obvious, but they can spread it out through block orders here, and that would be a reasonable spot to be doing it. 3 into the 5. Now, do you see? You have no resistance up here, so if you can get through all of that, it's blue sky, a new all-time high. So I think you're well underway. If you're not in it, you're just waiting for the next location. If the count's going to hold, right? Always if the count's going to hold. Looks like we're working on the impulse in the third of the fifth before that whole thing completes. Right? So that's nice work, Trotter. Really nice job. Log scale won't work here. I was just going to throw a traditional Elliott channel on, but that fucks you up in log. All right, well done, Trotter. Very nice. For some reason, I feel like I know that company. All right, so I got Trade Diva down under. This has been the toughest trade. Going back to the Aussie, which I know this is her baby. Okay, so let's come back to this. This has been a tough market. Where'd we leave off, Trade Diva? All right, so, she wants me to see something down here. It doesn't look like we're in a squeeze there. Okay, so A, B, C. Oh, geez, you made this. Okay, I see what she's doing. Okay, so we're coming back. So here's her golden zone. Okay, so we're in the pocket. All right, so this channel looks good. So I know this is a little hard for you guys to see. I'm gonna hide that just so I can clear this up a little bit. Okay, so if it's ABC, this into the W, and we're going ABC into the X, that all looks quite good. So she's looking to short this here, which looks like it makes sense. I know that's hard to see, but just bear with me here. She's doing what we teach, right? So number one, she's look at all the subdivision here she's worked through, right? So she's put the time in here. This looks like it's very close to parity. There's the 100. Yes, so it is. Oh, just so you guys see it. Right, there's the 100, right? So I'm right on top of hers. So you got the same thing. That looks like that's a median line set up as well. There, but I would look here for the shift because it's a correction looking to get into. So do you see what I just did there? I know that's a little hard to see, guys, but Trade Diva. So I'm going here's the A, it would be at the upper parallel of that set of median lines I just drew, which would be right at the 100, which would be the most common swing relationship. So I might move. Well, if you, I don't go ahead and take that entry that you were, but I wouldn't take the full boat there. I'd move this up just a little bit because they might push this a little higher. That would be a very common target. And then you're going to have to give it room because they're, because we've had this conversation, the highest risk in FX is when you first go into the market, right? And that first night that you go overnight, quickly away from it, they'll widen the stops to get you out. So let's see what we got in here. So I'm going to push that up to that 100. So this looks good. 1, 2, 3, 4. So leading diet. So that's nice work. Okay, so I'm gonna hide some of this. Oh shit! Looks like you got the. Yeah, you do. Okay, so, and then this one. Do you have the wave on that? No, we don't. Okay, so that's me. I'll take that off. This set of median lines, I think you got what I'm after there, Trade Diva. Okay, so we got a nice Elliott channel working here. Here we just. What are we doing there? So that's the 61 through the 65. So we've just got our first little break there. So it looks like we're going up higher. I know this is hard to see, but leading leading diag coming off the low. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5's the longest. 5 longer than 3. 3 longer than 1. So we go 1, 2. Now, requirement is we get an impulse here. Well, she's actually given 2 counts here. So it looks, Trade Diva, it looks like you missed one here. Did you? Oh, pardon me. Well, maybe you did. So, excuse me. Looks like you're going here. You're going, well, here, I'm going to do what you did. If I put that wave on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, what did we complete there? Right. So that's the only thing you missed. Right? So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, if that was the 3, okay, 1, 2 looks like it's long enough, but this would have to be. Here, I'm gonna have to take that off so we don't screw that up. Okay, so then this would have to go. Here's what I would do, Trade Diva. I think since you missed one. Here, let's push that off for a second. I think you'd have to go up here. Let's take that up a degree. Put the 3 here. Phew, that's tough in there. We've struggled with this one a few times. Okay, so this is clear as a bell. Okay, there's the 3. It's the 1, 2 that's the bitch in here. 1, 2. So I'm assuming you're choosing that because you're working backwards. So A, B, C into the 4. So we got to get an impulse. So this would have to be 5, 4. I'm inclined to think it's down a little bit lower. Well, as is usual, right? So you start measuring. Okay, well, 2, 6, 1, 8, I know is far for them to go, but I don't think I can get an impulse in here. I don't think I can. Oh, come here. 1, 2. Jesus, can you get that? What are we on? I got to go to this 1. Well, that's a toughie. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is what that looks like. So I'm thinking the 1. Okay, so looks like that's. I don't think I can get an impulse there. I don't think I can. I can't. 2, 3, 4. Oh, that's a little wick is fucking me up. Let's try that. 3, 4. Ooh, that's a. Just to check that. Well, there's the 1, 6, 1, 8, right? So that's about the right range. This would have to be the 2. Boy, that is brutal. Boy, that's iffy. But let's see if we can carry the count on. 1, 2, because this looks like a leading. So here's a 5. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, and it overlaps. So we have a leading diagonal here. So we gotta account for that. Oof. Diva, I know why this is a struggle. This is a tough one. Okay, so I'm going to change on the fly here. I think this has got you got to do this earlier. This is all got to get finished sooner. Let's go submicro. So this has got to be. That needs another 1. So 1, 2. I'm going to put these up here because I got to put them somewhere. Let's go. I'm going to put that. Let's go to minuet just so I don't lose track of it. Okay. So candidate here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ugly finish. A, B, C into the 2. Right. So what's driving my thinking here is this, right? That little 3 is correcting something. So what are my choices here? I don't have many great choices. I can go 1, fuck. That little wick is going to screw it up. Well, I would leave it here for now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is another leading diag. So we'd have to go 1 here. 1, A, B, C, 2. Looks like there's your impulse. 3, 4, working on that 5. So let me change that color. Let's go back to white. Let's go down a degree. Whew, tough one. Okay, so 1. Let's take you down a degree. Let's take you up a degree. All right, 1, 2. This 3 has got to come all over here. Boy, this is brutal. Okay, here's the box we're trying to get to. All right, 1, 2. That 3, let's put that in a different color. Blue. 1, 2. So then this has to be, you got to go up a degree too. 1, 2, 1, 2. Is that long enough? Oof. Well, welcome to this is the struggle of it. All right, so it is long enough. So I've got a candidate here for my 3. I've got this impulse here that counts. All right. Whew. All right, this is the work part. Still seeking that 3, still seeking that 5. So all of this, right, still seems like that plays fairly well. So this is the one that's the struggle right now. So I'm trying to get this one to finish. 1, 2, can't be 3. Well, did we check that? Could that be 3? 1, 2. Nope, can't. Right. So it's not. So on the fly, just could there be? But right, already it can't be because it's a diag. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So let me get that out of there. Let me get this one here. Okay. I think we're going to get there. It took a while, but that's a very hard count. Okay. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have the candidate here to be completing this 5, which would be completing this 3 right here. So this 5 goes higher. This is the next 4 we're looking for. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Oh, fuck. So you see what I just ran into. It can't be. I can't have it unless it's another 1 where we'd have an impulse. So is there a workaround? I don't want to go 1, 2, but I might have to. That's fucking me up. All right, so here's a diag. ABC is the 2. Right, so that, fuck, we're going to have to go 1, 2. 1, 2, that's solid. 1, B, C, we could do that. Okay, alternate. Okay, let's consider an alternate. So this you'd put the 2 here. Well, let's see if we can make that work. Oh, geez, this is probably boring you guys to death, but this is the reality of it. Does that work? You got to get in there. Oh, fuck. That's a bitch. Oh, I thought I had it there. Well, you see this in FX a lot, right? Where there'll be just these slight overlaps. And you'll find yourself going, it's so small, right? Do I want to allow in highly leveraged accounts or markets? You might allow for a little overlap here, but that's close. That might be the best fit you've got here. So this would come out. So you'd have to do 1, you'd do the 2 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You'd have the 1 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You might be able to do it that way. So you've got, this is what we're talking about, that overlap. A couple of pips. You might have to live with it. And I could keep going here, but I'm sure people are probably dropping off by the dozens here. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we've got this 3, 4. All right, Trade Diva. It looks like that's not going to be done up here. 4, 5. So this becomes question mark. Whew, that's brutal. 1, 2, 3, and you still are dealing with that. I don't see a better way to count that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That looks like a diag. 2, 1, 2, 3. Fuck. Excuse me. Sorry. I can't get it. 3. Unless the 1 was back here, then it would fly. So I'd have to do it this way and go A, B, W, X, A, B, C. That might work. A, B, C, A, B, C. That can do it. Now, do I have a good enough 1 here? That's a little bit of a force fit. So I'm going W, X, Y. This might be all you got. 1, 2, well, oof, toughy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the 3. So that works. So you'd have to do it. So this has to be, it's a little bit of a force fit. Oh, pardon me. This would be WXY. So you'd have to do it this way. WXY. Something a little more reasonable. Let's get that out of there. Giant. Okay. So ABC. I know that's hard to see. ABC into the W, ABC into the X, ABC into the Y that gives you the 2 that does not overlap. I don't think it does. God, I hope it doesn't. Oh, look at that. Fuck. You're going to have to live with that. That's as close as they get. No, pardon me. So if I do the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5. So that's the 3. That's the 4. No, that does work. Okay, so we get that. So that's this. This is the 1. This is the 1, 2. Okay, so we can make that 4 work there. Oh, that's brutal count. 1 WXY. I know, little force fit. This is your problem child, but it barely holds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's the 3, ABC, and the 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it looks like that's in the process of finishing that 3. Okay, so Jesus, that took some time. All right. Well, for anyone watching who's working on their Elliott chops, you won't remember what I just did. So it would be a good challenge, right? See if you can just pull it up and see if you can get a count that works in there. But I think that's our best bet. So if I take that and go and add the wave like you were looking at it, then that's what we're trying to get to. So all of this, so that short looks dubious, right? So it looks like this is all just in the process of, well, I suppose it could be an ABC. All right, let me change that to fit with what you're thinking. So let's make that, let's get rid of that. And let's go with a corrective structure here that might make more sense. We could get that the way you're thinking, trying to get an ABC up here, but still looks like it's got more to go, right? So you're this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe at that top of that range, maybe bring it up a little bit for this to be, okay, well, that's not bad. All right, so you're trying to finish this up here right there. Okay, so you're trying to go A, B, and this is, well, either it's going to be ABC and we're going to get something more of a complex correction, or you're going to get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is, you're just going to be on the wrong side of the market here. Boy, this is a brutal count in there. All of this is very, look how much chop is in there. Very, very tricky. Can be like that in FX. But right now, this looks like what's in play is the bigger 3, right? This now. Are we going to finish a C up here? Or are you going to get a full 5 here? Well, you know, if it's going to finish as an impulse, then yes, indeed, that would be just as we had it counted to. We're looking for that 3, 4, 5. Now you're outside of that parity. Here's the 100%. Maybe you're going up to the 127, 1382. Let's pull that all back out. Holy smokes, that was brutal. Let's see if that would fit. Well, okay, so this would be ABC, ABC. Whew. You want this to be 3. I know what you're thinking here, but because this being the C, so you get a nice finish here, but this is a 1, 2. Well, it may be that the bulls are going to take charge here. It's pretty shallow on the 2 off of this, but this was so deep, right? That's the COVID low. 3, 4, 5, ABC, unless... Even if we hit some of this upper stuff, or so if you were thinking 1, 2, and we're going to get the big 3 here, right? So let's just assume you got that off of this is a 1, 2. Well, it's getting very, very bullish now, because if this is the 2, or if this is the 2 here off of this ABC 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, well, that's not going to be the 3. All right, so that starts to become problematic to the bear case. If it's going to be W and you're working through the X, well, You got to move this up. I think you're going too soon based on just what we just worked through here. Looks like you got to work off of this kind of structure up here where you bumped into all that. Now let's just out of curiosity, where would that fit in here relative to what the algo is going to do? So that's the low. That's yours. Now look at that. So here, I think Trade Diva, you're gonna have to give that a little bit more headroom. I take that up a bit right there. But look at your downside here. This is a trade. I know you've been working on this trade for some time here. So this looks like a better solution here for this to finish in that 5 after all that stuff we just worked through, for this to go WX. Where's your X? X. Y down here. You get that? Well, here's just the algo target. All right, that's going to be pretty good rip here. You get a true third. Well, pardon me. You get a true third out of this. Let me go down here. You're getting some big numbers. But I think you got to wait for that to finish right into the pocket. So I know you know what to do there. There you go. That's what I would do. Holy smokes, God, you're making me work. That is brutal one. She and I have been back and forth on that for, she feels like, well, when did we start looking at this? We've been at this for some time. It's for 4 or 5 weeks. We've gone through that one. Brutal count. That's brutal in there. There's a little compromise along the way, but that's what I'd suggest there. All right. Whew, I can wipe the sweat off my brow. All right. Let me keep going. Just a couple more here. Oh, we got a few guys added here. Okay. So I got Woo Wonka. I'm assuming we lost everybody who's watching. Oh, that's brutal, but there's the reality of it. I can't do it any faster than that. Okay. Woo Wonka, what are you thinking here? NDX. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that looks good. 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. Ooh. Oh, Wonka, why are you giving me an image? So this is NDX. So let me. Oh shit! Here, let me. That's view only. Is this the? Shit. That's view only. Oh let me. I need a new window here. I'll just go to this one. Oh, what is it? NDX. NDX. I'm just out of windows. So he wants the NASDAQ 100? Okay. So, that's what, yeah, all right. What happened down here? Oh, it's because it's a daily. Okay. All right, Woo Wonka, what are you thinking here? Oh, you're giving me the weekly. Holy shit. Oh, or did I just shit? I just had it. No, here it is. Okay, so let me pull this off to the edge here so I don't lose track of it. Well, it's funny that you're doing this because I was just working on Apple this morning, which is equally as difficult. Okay, so the big drop is the 4 and then a 1, 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh. Well, we're in log scale. What year are you going back to? You're going back to 86? Holy shit. Okay, so let's go to a weekly. Okay, so based on your count here, I'm going to pick it up here at 1. Oh shit, I still have those on. Well, let's just put it up here. All right, we got to put it somewhere. Let's get that wave off. And I'll take that down. Let's go. All right, so let's go back to what you're thinking here. So 1, 2, 1, 2, still seeking. Okay, so that looks good here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, you don't have much of a 2, or it's funny, that seems to be the theme lately. Where's the 2? Where's Waldo? 1, 2. 1, 2. Well, you can see it in there. 1, I know I've done this count many times. Boy, big extension going there. Well, you got a clear 5 here. So this has to be accounted for somewhere. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think that's what he's doing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Going for the extension there. Is that the lower low? Yeah, it is. All right, so here's the, so this is the lower low. This is the 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A, B. Phew, that's ugly. Looks like it's there. Okay, so 3, 4, 5. Let me just get that up a degree. God, you guys are making me work today. 1, A, B, C into the 2, or actually looks like that's a triangle. Well, no, pardon me, we can't have a triangle in a second. So can't be, so either it's 1, 2, if we finish it 1, 2. No, that wouldn't work either. So this has to be part of the 1 of that 1 right there. Okay, so that has to be 1, 2. Oof, where's your 3? Well, this is the deepest thing we got. That sure looks like a 3. So it looks like that is a flat. Jesus, look at the extension. Whew. All right, where are you finishing here? So you're in a 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Oh, it's getting pretty gnarly up there. 1, 2. Suppose we could finish this up here. 4. So this would have to be here. This still up. Still seeking that. So let's take that up. Let's take down. I don't know, we can leave that. Okay, so could that possibly be it? It might be. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it would have to be, we're still seeking that. Well, this has to be 1, 2. 1, 2, still seeking that. It's even bigger. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that possible? That's too big. Let's take you down. Let's take you up. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Yeah. Well, when in doubt, measure it. Interesting. All right, look where we put in our 3. Potential 3. Right on the spot, right where you're looking for it. Looks like that's not done though. Let's change that color. 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's wick that off. Just, all right. All right, so this is called how the sausage is made. We can't do a channel on this. That's going to be too steep for median lines. I can just look at it here. I'm going to show you. It's going to be way too steep, even in an original recipe. Well, actually, it's not that bad. All right, so 1, 2. I mean, I knew we'd be outside, but we're not too far. That's the 150. All right, so that's not terrible. Let's get that tightened up. All right, Wonka. Wow, that's a challenging. All right, you're making an educated guesstimate as to where the 2s are, because it's just a, so what is this? This is, you could thank the Fed for that. That's all central bank easy money. All right, this doesn't happen without an accommodative Fed, right? We all know that. All right, they've created a monster, or that they can land this thing. Remains to be seen. A lot of people think not, that there's got to be some right? You don't get this without cost associated somehow. 1, 2, looks like we're still 3, 4, 5. So we're still expecting another retrace. Maybe we bounce here and we get up here to get that to be done. But I think that works. Right? Interesting how the COVID low and this low here, which is the financial crisis, are what really stand out, right? So here's the COVID low, here's the '08 crisis, here's the .com crisis, right? Remember when this was, oh my God, we made it to 5,000. It's like Bitcoin at 20,000, right? Think about that, right? I was trading here. I got very lucky. I got out of my brokerage business here right about here. After riding all that, and now of course I did not know that was coming, but just fortuitous timing. Looks like we're still game on. Just out of curiosity. Yeah, we're gonna be. Well, holy shit! Look where we just tagged. 2618, the length of the one. Interesting. Right. So you might. We're not. I don't think we're. What are we doing today? It's a little softer today. We just see if I can even show this to you guys. Let's see if this would show up here on the 15-minute before I leave this. Here it is. I don't know if this will be as exact, but this is what I was talking about earlier. Oh, it's going to be slightly different here, so because I was pulling it up in the futures, but nonetheless, you'll still see it. It's actually cleaner here. Slight variance from the futures. The futures tagged it. Let's get that on that. This being the index. Yeah, might actually. Yeah, there we go. There it is. Thanks. Because I was not in luck. Okay, so this is the one I was talking about before, where you're when you're here and you're thinking, holy shit, is it really going to go all the way up and tag that median line? Did it yesterday. Boom. So in the futures, it's right in the golden zone. It's actually right at the 65 here in the NDX. But again, I can show this. I've shown this so many times, right? So how anyone would see this and then not have a set of median lines on every single swing and retrace is, I don't get it. I don't understand. This is probably the least used technical tool, and it's in every single technical analysis package, from the most rudimentary to the most sophisticated. They all have median lines. It's the least used, so if you're recently getting turned on to the significance of median lines, that's like the best news I could possibly give you. Oh, nobody uses it. And the only reason they use it because they don't understand it. They don't know how to use it, right? Because that's typically you I don't know what to do with this thing. So you do something wacky and you're, oh, okay. Well, what is that doing for me? Oh, we didn't hit the median line here. I heard that's always supposed to hit the median line. You got to know how to use it, right? It's just like anything, right? You can, you have to understand how to use that. But the fact that we go up and tag that, looks like we just missed it here. In the futures, it's right tags it. Actually, in the futures, I went a little bit past it. This not being right you're not trading this, you're trading the underlying or trading the derivative. So this getting that corner pocket here and going up and just tagging that, if you check it in the futures, it actually went through a little bit. So now it's hovering around, which commonly we'll do. It's a magnet, and then it's going to decide here. We're going to come back down and retrace. You got kind of a gnarly start here so you get a diagonal. So you got to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to finish that. ABC gets us down here, and then here, and again, I'm down here on the 15-minute. I'm digressing. Okay, let me keep going here because we got this Woo Wonka. Woo Wonka, that's just as good as my count. I think it's pretty close to mine. All right, so very nicely done. And then all this detail, well done. It works, just getting better and better every time you post. Well done. Okay, let me go to Volcker because I know this is one he's been all over, and then we'll wrap it up. How are we doing on time? Whoa. Oh, Volker, I love it. Love it. Love it. I think we looked at this last week and I remember I made the same comment. I love to see all the median lines. All right. So here, a pretty clear example, answers that question. I just said, well, if you've seen, Jesus, if you've seen this, how could you look at a swing and a retrace the same way ever again? How long did this take? So that was September of 2012, and we got there 4 years later. Now, when you're right there, is that what you're thinking? Right? Oh, that we're going to go up and get that 4 years later? Probably not. I say it to you again. Once you've seen that, how would you ever look at anything the same way again? Right? Or if you've seen it, but just didn't really pay attention to it, heads up, guys. You've heard me say this many, many times. If I could only have one tool, only one, median lines. Oh, this is just really nice work here, long term here. So 1, 2, 3. Oh, shit. I hate that part of it, though. Well, so, oh, fuck. How are we going to do this, Volker? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Well, so immediately, just right off the bat, what I don't like is trying to connect. Well, so here's the pattern you're after here. 3, 4. Jesus, am I following you right here? That we're going to do this? That doesn't look right to me. I mean, I know we're out here. Even let's go to a weekly. Well, you see what I would struggle with there. That's what, right, in the context of, right, does it look right? The mark I would have to work through all this detail with you, and to be forced into that, you follow my thinking here. So right off the bat here, and I'm going to, okay, so I see what you're doing here. I see the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you've got an impulse here, but you might have to relabel that. It's actually, so I'm fairly certain you're a bull on this. Oh God, can we go 1, 2? See, I want to do it this way, Volker. Oh fuck, where's that 4? It's buried in there. I got to do this to find it. Okay, come out of there. Okay, just as an alternate. Just hear me out on this. Okay, I want that to finish there. So it's, again, with kind of theme, I've tried to. Right, I want that all to be a self-contained. I don't want this to be attached to that 1, 2. I want to see, can I finish the whole thing here? So hear me out on that. Okay, so let's assume we got that. Here's your, right. So the impact here is I just want people that don't know, right? I've seen them take even longer, right? You have to, again, why would you not use it? All right, so I want to complete that here. So that this becomes, what would that mean? That this is all 1, 2, 1, 2. I see even more bullish, because this just looks like it's too far removed from that to be connected to it, if you will. Simplify the language. So this I would take out. So, oh, you got it locked. Okay, so I'm just going to hide it. Okay, so this, right, we've got here another. Again, I can show them. I can't pull the trigger for you, right? So there's your 80%. I got another one. I'm going to push this off a little bit so I can dig into this. Okay, so that's already been burned. So it's not that it's not relevant anymore. I'm just going to hide it so we can look in here a little bit better. So if this is 1, well, here, let me take this down. I'm not saying this is the correct count, Volker. I'm just giving you an alternate here to think about. If this is 1, and this is, we're working, oh shit. I like it better as a 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go up. Oh, let's get something big here. You like big ones. Oh, okay. Well, what are you thinking there? I think the WX, oh shit, right? So I see what you're saying, right? Do we have an ABC here? Oh, that's right. You're actually spot on there. Oh, God, guys, giant degrees. Let's go. All right. I see what you're thinking here. So you've got a candidate. So if you guys are following along here, to finish, if this is a WXY, we need an ABC in here, but you're far enough here to where you could have a flat with an expanded B. So you could have so he's given you the alternate here in the same count. Good work. So possible that we go A, so we get a 3. We get a 3, and now we're working through the 5. So that would be the alternate here, that this is an A, B, because we're far enough for a running flat. Or pardon me, it would be just a traditional flat. Now, if this is going too much lower, typically a flat is not going to go like this, right? It would be more typical to be a box, right? Think of a flat like a box, right? This is what a flat would typically do. Now, if we're going to go down lower, you might rethink this, but let's go down to the daily to see what we got in here. Okay, what are you thinking here? I'm going to unlock that just so I can move it. Okay, red is alternate. Yellow is preferred. Okay, so he's thinking so here's our yellow is preferred. So A, B. Well, that's okay. So this is him trying to finish the ABC, but this looks like an impulse, doesn't it? So let's keep the alternate is there. I like this. So triangle, so he's just doing exactly what I do, right? So he's going, okay, this is, clearly a triangle, so it can't be 1, 2. Let's see, down on an 8-hour here. Can we finish that? Oh, what are you thinking? Oh, that's your 5. I was looking for that 5. Okay, so that's where get the degrees down. You don't have that problem. Okay, so that's a brutal start. 1, 2. Do we get an impulse there? 1, 2, 3. Oh, it looks like we do. Boy, that's kind of an ugly finish. Okay, well, so here you'd have been thinking it was done, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can't have a triangle in the 2, so that eliminates that. So the idea here, this is a solid. Oh well, this is interesting, right? This is a point of contention, right? That was in a dialogue here. I just happened to be reading through some stuff this morning as to whether or not you could allow for an overlap if you overlapped in a triangle with the A wave here. Now, in this case here, it wouldn't matter because we have to trade this as a diag. Well, pardon me. I think he might be thinking that. So the rule is that you can't have any overlap. So the triangle here is he's, and I don't know if you're thinking this, but we'd have the triangle right here. So A, B, C, D, E into the 4, but you can't have that overlap. Well, I say that, hard rule set adherence, for a purist, you can't have any overlap of the 1. So it kind of leaves you with we could have a diag. So this could be W, X, Y, X. Now we're working on the Z, but holy shit, this has gone so far. All right, let me not get too distracted here. Okay, so could this work as we've got it? I think it could. So this would have to be a diagonal into the 1 because it is, right? So 1, 3, triangle 4 with the overlap for the 5, right? So we get a diagonal into the 1, 2. 3 looks like it's in here based on this count. So I see he's got the alternate here, but I think you're right. I think that's 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's tricky. Nicely done. Ending diag here to get that to finish at the 3, but that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gives us that 3. So let's measure there. I'm guessing you already did that. Both still possible. All right, but just to solidify in your own mind, if that's the 1, that's the 2. Where'd we go for the 3? Well, second most common, 1, 2, 7, 2 to the tick. So good candidate for the 3, although he makes the point, right? Still could be going. So now this is interesting. So coming off of that, if this is what's my alternate here? So that we'd have, W, so your X would be over here. So this would be, the C. That's the A. This would A, B, C. I'm sure where that W fits in. I have to find it on the daily. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, in that 4, sure looks like we got a 5, right? So it's a diag with an overlap. So that could be a 1 or an A wave. God, can we? Both still possible. You're absolutely right. Okay, so if the 3 is in, we don't want, well, I see where you're going here. We don't want this to be, okay, so your bias, yellow flat is preferred count. 3, 4. Well, you're going to know here. You could count this. Shit. Looks like you could count this as an alternate here. I'll just, well, actually, let me just give you an alternate here. Looks like you could do this here. Is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which would give you a leading diag into an A. B, it's a little skinny, but looks like you could get it. A, B, C. And I'm sure Volcker has thought that through as an option. That could be the alternate. That's the only way he could get it to work, right? So if this is the 3, that's the only way we can get that to work. So I don't see it labeled, but I know he's got the 4 here, so I know he's thought that through. So here's the 5. Here's a diagonal, leading diag. We can have it in a 1 or an A wave. So we get A, B, C gives us a candidate for the 4. So this becomes the alternate because you can see his alternate count could be a 1. I'm with you. I think if I'm in line with what you're thinking, I think that's better. A better fit is the 4. So 1, 2. Now, can we get that to finish here? Oof, you guys are doing really good work. Oh, look how tricky that is. Let's go down to a 4-hour. Oh, hello, median lines. Looks like that's a 786 or 887. That's even further than that. Looks like that's an 887. Let's go platinum. 887. 1. Oh, well, there's the 4. It looks like it's a candidate for a 3. So on a 4-hour, you're going to have to dig the 1, 2 out of this on the lower time frame. 3, 4, much of the finish. A, B, C into the 2. All right, this alternate is very much alive. Let's put that in white as a W. So if it were A, B, C into a W, A, B, C into an X, A, B, just looking for the thing to finish. Okay, well, this is, let's get this one off. So here, right, would you bet against that getting the median line? I wouldn't, right? Looks like it's just a matter of time before it gets there. Otherwise, right, failure gets to the median line, sets up a full retrace, which would be surprising. 1, 2, 1, that's very tricky. Boy, look at the work in here. So you have to do it as a diagonal. So he's going A, B, C into the 1, 2, A, B, C into the 3, 4, A, B, C into the 5. So you've got a candidate here for the 1, A, B, C into the 2. Boy, good work. Now that's tricky right here as well. 1, 2, 3, 4 extension in the 5, but it fits, right? 3, 5 longer than 3, 3 longer than 1. So you've got your little leading diagonal into the 1, A, B, C into the 2. Looks like we expand the B so that you can get 3. Here's the 3. Oh, God, this is great work, Volcker. Oh, where's the 1? 1. Oh, so it's just within that. Okay, so you'd probably be doing that on a lower time frame. So A, B, C, here's the 4. Oh, that's good. Let's take that up a degree. Let's not hide that. Oof. That's really good work, but this is welcome to the work of it. how the sausage gets made, right? You got to grind through this 1, 2, looking for that 3, 4, right? So the implication would be we could be done here, but it looks like you'd want to have one more push down to get that 5 to complete. That's maybe too big a degree. Oh, shit. Come here. This would give you the 3. Let's go up. 1, 2, searching for the 3, 4, 5. I would not bet against that, not getting there. 4. These are going to have to go way up. 5, way down here of the 5 of the C. All right, let's pull that all the way back out. What do we get? Whew, tough counts today. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's check that 4 relative to that 2, just out of curiosity, right? You wouldn't want to leave that hanging. Let me get that. Okay, in the pocket there. The 3 is so big. I mean, that's not terribly surprising. Had to do it through an A, B, C. Oh, shit. Into that 4, right? Recognizing there is an alternate here because you could count that as a 5, but with the rollover here, I think that the A, B, C into the 4 plays better. Oh, just out of curiosity, I'd pull from the absolute high just to see where we are. I don't think it matters. Here's the algo target, which he's got. So he's got a box down here, both still possible, right? So we could be done, right? So he's giving you an alternate here that it could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we finish the thing here, and this is 1, 2, we're going off. But I think until proven otherwise, well, how would you confirm that? You'd have to do it here, right? So if this is the low, you're going to have, you got some big upside here. So this would have to be, if you're going to be wrong, right, on the idea that we're still completing down here, it's going to go 1, 2, and you're going to have to get a big 3 that pushes through here. You can already kind of see it's going to be a struggle to get there. That's going to have to do that. And now you've got a monster, we're on a daily here. That would be a major trend change. So, and then his thought being that, oh, that's why we got the pitchfork. It's on the 4-hour because of oil prices going higher, right? So that'd be bullish for the Canadian, bearish for the US dollar. So maybe we finish down here, and then you start to get a trend change. But so his implication is we're likely to finish down here 1, 2, 3, 4, and we come all the way down here. Now, if we do that, we're going to 114. Oh, so let's put the whole thing back together. Whew, long way to get there. 1, 2. That's after all that. That's what we're trying to do. Up. That's here. So here's the target right here. I would even narrow that down. Say your target is that golden zone or the 2 at that largest degree. Wow, that long way to get there, but that's where we got to. 1. Tricky. I do think Volcker plays better this way. 1 or A, B, C. I think of it that way. Now, right? Very, very, very bullish for the longer term count. And if you a purchase down in here, well, I mean, look now things start to show up. Oh, look at the structure here. I've got this to work with. So if we were to come down here and ping that, we've got a complex 3. Well, the upside there starts to look. Well, what else would you have here? Right, that's a trade to heads up. Right, that's all. If we work through all of that to get to that golden corner, right, and that's what you're after, right? So where is the implication of all of that? Much higher. Boom! Wow, tough counts today. Holy smokes. All right. I got one more and then we'll wrap it up. Boy, you guys challenging me today. Welcome to the reality of it. That's what it looks like. Oh shit. What do we got here? TT. Where's T? Okay. TT is what he's interested in. Oh shit. I got to copy this. Okay. TT. Latest uptrend as its tricky count. Oh, another tricky count. Great. All right. 2 people watching. Okay. Well, what do we got here? Oh, I don't recognize this handle. Hacked off. Okay. So I got to go. Oh, jeez, I got to pull out here. I got to get a weekly on this. Oh, maybe I can do it on a 3-day. All right. Where are we here? Well, it sure looks like a diag, doesn't it? Okay, I like that, right? This is all self-contained, right? Just we were looking at that. Finishes there. I like it. I like this is good work. I don't think I've seen hacked off posts before. I don't remember. Well, this is trickier. So ABC, ABC, ABC. So he's going WXY into an A, ABC into the B, and he's working backwards from the fact that there's an impulse here. So your first thought might have been WXY, but this would be too much of a force fit because you don't have an ABC here. We don't have that to finish it like we do in these other swings. I am on a 3-day, but it looks like since it's all just going one direction here, that looks like that's an impulse to complete. So I like your thinking. Now that's not for the novice, right? That's a very tricky way to count that. All right. So you got to have some skills here to know that you can go WXY into an A and into the B and then finish with the C down here. Okay. So 1, 2, 1, 2, I'd be with you on that. Looks like that's already gone. Oh, looks like you're 786 there. Although this is going to be deep, right? So there's 786, but don't forget, right? Do what the algo is going to do. It's going to go back to dominant. Okay, so we're in the pocket there. So you've got this 3. So there's no way to. It doesn't look like there's a way to. You definitely have an impulse. 1, 2. That works. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 diag. So this, I've got to go take that up. Put it in white so we can see it a little bit better. Okay, 1, 2. I'm with you on that. That's an impulse. So it would have to be 1, 2. What that is. Get those out of there. Okay, 1, 2. It's tricky again. All right, WXY again. Then that's your. We do that. All right, that's earnings likely. It's not right on the same day. That's something got it very. I'd love to know what caused that. Something got it very excited and then very not excited. Likely that's earnings related or some sort of announcement came out that retraced like that. It's unusual. Okay, well you got to deal with it. So we get a 1, 2. Holy shit! Let's just out of curiosity. Let's see. Yeah, it's very valid. So we got to deal with that. 1, 2. Well, you don't. So whatever's happening here, you're breaking on both sides here. So obviously, sell side getting broken, buy side being broken. So you have whatever caused that news related. Even algos are getting blown out on both sides. This may be one of the. Even if you thought something like that. I mean, technically, I suppose you could get away with that. Just let me get some of those out of there. Just going to hide those. There's not much you can do with that. Right? Look at the gap, and then completely rejected. So whatever it was, false alarm. There's just some times where the Elliott it's not helping me here. I mean, okay, maybe you got something like that. Maybe that's so aberrant that I don't know that it really applying the Elliott is going to be helpful here until something that you need another swing. Is that even worth counting it that way? 1, 2, unless you went 1, 2, even that, right? So you don't have an impulse here. So this is just one of those like shit. I mean, you've got if you have to label it, suppose you're stuck with that. It looks like you can get an impulse in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This looks like a 3. So this, you're just kind of in a fucking backwash there. If forced to, that's how I would count that. Now, so nice channel. So the Elliott is not, we don't have good Elliott here, right? It's just not always there. It eventually will likely you need more passage of time to where you could come back to this. Is that possibly an X? WX? I don't know. It's just, I'd leave it like this, right? So here's the reality. I'd not be trading it because of this. Is anybody's guess is what you've got. Label it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is the best thing I can spot there, which would imply that we're just going to read. So if I have to buy this, I got a high volume node here. I'd be looking right in here. Break the channel. Let's just hide that. If it breaks the channel, it comes back down here. I've got some structure I can work with. Well, it looks like I'm starting on another 3, although this has been a pattern where it's done that. Looks like you can finish that, but that, well, let's see. Let's go to the 8-hour here. We have enough. 1, 2, 3, 4. It looks like it's just starting on the A wave. It was a little early to make that call just yet. Is that what we're doing in the A wave here? It could be ABC, right? And keep going higher. You can't. So you're kind of in between there. So this isn't solid enough. So if I'm looking at this and was thinking about a short here, this is too iffy for me to want to take that or to lean into the idea that that's 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to have another 5 down here. Even if you got that, your assumption would be that's the A. You'd look for a B, and then you'd get your C. That's kind of, if I forced to trade this, which I hacked off, there must be a reason why you're in here. Perhaps tied to fundamentals. I would be surprised if it were tied to the technicals because it's not great technicals. But that said, 1, 2, all right, so something you could probably make a case that something completed there. And so you could label that up as a 1, working on the 2, 3, 4, 5 still to come. Okay, right. That's pretty much all you got to work with. So you're in a little bit of a hurry up and wait. I don't know. I mean, you could, right? If you're interested in the long side, I'm going to guess you're interested in the long side. You gotta be there to play with, but careful about assuming, oh shit, I'm up, it's going. Where you're fully anticipating that it comes down and you get a better 1, 2. Then you have something to work with. Oh, okay, now I get, or that doesn't necessarily mean it doesn't have to go to the golden zone, right? You might pull it a corner there, but you're looking for something to give you more shape because this is just a monkey in the wrench, right? So, okay, maybe that's the 1, 2, but I'd want to see, since I had this, I'd want to see that correction just come in just beautifully, just right like a glove, right? Just fit perfectly for me to take that there. Now that I would take. I don't remember what that is. that I would take after this, because then I could say, okay, well, that was weird. Some news related event happened there, but now I've got something I can get my head around, and I can work off of that as a 1-2, and now put that back in more context. Okay, well, then all of this gets way up here, starts to look more bullish. So 1, 2, fuck, I can't even get it. 1, 2, 1, 2. Might have to be another 1, 2. Or so it starts to look more and more bullish. Get that whole thing back together. I can't do it. 3-day. All right, that's an impulse, right? So I'm just looking, is there another way to think? 1, 2, 3, 4 doesn't work. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2 has to be. Or the Elliott's just not going to cooperate here. Or you're just going to need a shitload more data, because if that's 1, 2, 1, 2, this is going to the stratosphere, which doesn't look like it has a history of. So there's something, right? Some reason why you're interested in this act off, something right, that's got you interested. Because the technical is a little iffy, but 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Right? If you're uber bullish on this, well, there's the setup that would get you off to the moon on that bugger. I mean, even just this, right? If we just take this piece of it, here's that 3 minimum target, which means this all has to come in here. You get there like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5 up at the 2, 6, 1, 8. Maybe that gives you 3, right? So you're getting some pretty meaty targets up there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, I mean, shit, if you're bullish, there you go. All right, we got to stop. I'm hungry. It's 2:20, and I think that covers everybody. How long do we go?
2 hours 40.
Yeah, that's long for us. Well, a couple of those. It's funny. I always say, come on, where are my FX traders? And they give us to it. And those are almost always the most difficult counts, right? To get all the subdivision. The FX at the larger degree can be fairly easy to spot, but to break down and do the work, whew, man, I'm sweating. That was a toughie. All right. Well, that's what I'm here for. And for those of you that soldiered through that, that's the reality of it. That's what the work of it looks like. So solving the puzzle can be a real grind, right? It's not always obvious. Like, oh shit, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, how easy is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, easy, right? No one said this was going to be easy. All right, guys, let's wrap it there. Yep. I appreciate you guys sticking around. As always, you know how to get to us, right? That link tree underneath would get you all the info to get to us. And with that, we'll call it a wrap. And don't miss tomorrow. Now you got Monte Crypto's very unique style coming tomorrow. I think that will appeal to a lot of you. Looking for an alternate. It complements what we teach on this side of the fence. It complements it rather nicely. It's just using longer term support and resistance levels that I think I know many of our members have really gravitated to it, are doing really well with it. So thanks to all the members that posted up, and thanks for those that made that contribution, gave us some content. So we appreciate it, guys. With that, check out 11:30 tomorrow to get, are you 11:30 tomorrow?
I don't know. 9:30 to 10. Probably
somewhere in that range.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you guys. I'll be back with the Bitcoin on Friday. Later.